Cancer.
Hello Cancer, this is your April forecast for 2017, and this too is going to be a career oriented month. And this is because the sun is here and Venus has passed into your 10th house as well, and this is bringing all your desires, your hope, your energy is forward and really looking at what it is now you can create, what you can obtain. But Venus will be going retrograde and is retrograde by the time that this reading for April starts, as it will be until the 15th. All right, so it's going to move back into your 9th house after having toured the 10th house, just to pick up whatever remains, if there's things left undone. As far as like looking at your research, it has to do with higher education. Maybe you have to go take a class, or maybe you got to go take some exam. Whatever it is, Venus is prompting you to go back there, look at all those loose ends, so you can pick them up, complete them, and then when she moves forward again after April 15th, she will once again come into your 10th house. So the good thing and the upside of it is that it gives you an extended time to work on these areas of your life. So, but when you go back into the 9th house there, well, make sure that you do what you need to do in that area, because it's going to be a whole year to next time. You could also come to see, for example, that people in places from far away might reconnect with you here under this retrograde of Venus. It could be exes, it could just be friends you haven't seen for a number of years. They might just come out of the woodwork, and that's always a great pleasure to reconnect and pick up where you left it off, right? So those are the highlights of the Venus retrograde. Also, that we can complete unfinished business. Life always gives us that second chance, and we always see retrogrades as like second chances to get things right. Now, but the Sun and Uranus is in your career house, so you're really focused on your goals and your ambitions and what it is you're trying to accomplish in your career. There could be opportunities for many of you that could come around, and maybe even opportunities from the past that is now representing themselves, and you want to give it a closer look and see if not that could just be the key to move forward again. Not for all of you, but maybe for some of you. Mercury is retrograde this month. Will retrograde from April 10th to May 14th. So it starts off in your 11th house for your hopes, your dreams, your goals. It's also a very social area of your chart, the 11th house. So you will start off feeling that you have now come out of a work phase, because it has gone through your 10th house, right? And just as you're opening up to all that new social environment, then it's going to retrograde, go back into your 10th house of career. So that's also giving you a second chance to look at what you can do, what you can refine, and perhaps even retweak. But it's not going back in there before April the 20th. So you have until then to be out and about socially, meet up with friends, like I said, you haven't seen for a while. They might now reconnect, or maybe you will reach out to somebody that you've been thinking about. So you're not just going to be thinking, you will be acting. Mars is in that 11th house too, of social activity, so I can see that you are a busybody, Cancer. It's all about sharing genuine time with those that you care for, right? Where the rest of the year you might just feel things get a little bit out of hand, too busy focusing on work, too busy focusing on family, your children, whatever it is. And now there's this like deep, heartfelt desire to really just see them, be with them, spend some genuine time. Mars is in the sign of Taurus, and Taurus is ruled by Venus. So it's really that heartfelt emotion, wanting to spend some good quality time and having fun. And that's what it's all about. Venus, when she goes back into Pisces at the end of the month, well, you know, already here, if you're listening to this forecast early, say now, like here in March, then you know how sensitive you are. Venus in Pisces is extremely sensitive. It's emotional, it's creative, it's spiritual too, right? So when she retrogrades back into this area, it's all about reaching for those higher goals that you set for yourself as standards. It's also you reaching for higher truths. It could be a time where you can find yourself meditating a little bit more, or needing to contemplate more the spiritual, metaphysical side of life, wanting to grow maybe new understanding, taking a class, taking a course. Ninth house is all about education, higher education, spiritual education. So you might have had some thoughts in certain areas for this earlier, might not have had time. Now in this round, it's calling your name. Neptune is in that ninth house, right? And it rules Pisces, the sign which it's in. So when we have both Venus and Neptune there, there's a lot of creative energy, spiritual creative energy, artsy energy. So you have that in March. You'll move into your career house for the first part there of the month, and then you will catch up exactly where you are in March. You will have a second round of it. So if you're liking March, you will like when Venus goes back into Pisces as well. We have more retrogrades. I mentioned Mercury will retrograde from April 10th to May 14th. We have Saturn retrograding on April 6th, straight through August 26th. And for you, Cancerians, that is your 6th house. So I can see how you've been trying to master certain things in your life, and that would be diets. It's the food you eat. It's also the routines of your day-to-day routines and so forth. It's trying to lay a new foundation, which is going to carry you for the next 28 years in this area. And so we're working a little extra, a little harder. Saturn is what we master, and sometimes it comes hard to us at first because it forces us to focus on what we need to change up. But once we've done that and we get the groundwork going, Saturn is allowing us to feel that we're mastering whatever it is now. And for you, that is that 6th house. It's health, right? It's diets. It's, like I said, your daily routines where you can feel that you're not being overwhelmed. Like if you go back a year or 2 or 3, you could have felt somewhat overwhelmed by daily needs from others, right? But now you're getting all your ducks in a row and you're finding that you're liberating, actually freeing yourself up, having more time to self. And I think that is so, so important. Then we also have Pluto. Pluto is going to retrograde not before April 21st, but will be through September 29th. Now Pluto is always what we are transforming. And for you, you're transforming your relationships. You have done a whole lot of work here the last few years, Cancer, and you're looking at how far you've come in the process. And to me, it feels like you've done a whole lot of good work because you're stronger now than, say, years beyond. And try to think 3 to 5 years and longer into the past, how you used to be in your relationships. And then ask yourself, how are you in relationships today, right? I sense there's more sense of self-empowerment that you've been working at, and now when Pluto goes retrograde, you'll feel that the pressure is off. Not that you have to forge forward. It's more like you've laid a certain foundation now that you can trust. Now it's time for it to work on autopilot for a while, right? And then you could just be the observer of those changes until we get to October. Then you will see how far you have come and what might need to be tweaked again thereafter, and then you'll power up again. But for right now, as it slows down a little bit, you can start breathing and feeling good with what is at hand. Yeah, that's those retrogrades that we're seeing here in April. So as we start off the month, though, the first transit is when Venus now ingresses back into Pisces. That's on the 3rd. On the 6th, we have a powerhouse of energy. We got Mars and Pluto. They are doing the dance. Beautiful trine aspect. This is when your dynamic force, your energy, your goals is so directed that you could move mountains, but just by your sheer will. Pluto coming in, supporting it, is allowing you to really take a situation and power through with it and feeling very, very accomplished. That is between your 11th house of hopes and dreams and your relationship, your partner. So between those two, I think you're just really, really cruising. On the 7th, we're up against some choices that we're needing to look at. It's the Sun and Jupiter. They're opposed to one another, and Jupiter is not the worst planet to have an opposition, but it's really trying to ask us to look at both sides of a coin before we make any choices. Because Jupiter can become very enthusiastic. It's like, yeah, I want that. And then you go for it, and then we're not really thinking, where is it going to lead you? What would be the consequences of it? So you might just want to tame the enthusiasm just a little bit, because around you at that date, on the 8th and 9th, we have Venus squaring up on Saturn, and then we have Sun squaring off on Pluto. So it could be, maybe, that either your partner is not seeing eye to eye with your enthusiasm. It could be around you at work. Actually, that's where Saturn is found. So it could be a coworker. Maybe the way that you guys interact, especially if it's an old issue, which it could be because Saturn is retrograde, that could resurface at this time, but don't back away. You want to really look at it as an opportunity to address it and find a new foundation, how you guys can work this through and improve it. That's why these small little crises do come up, so we can do something. On the 14th, we have the Sun and Uranus. They are conjunct. It happens one day a year, and this is when Pandora's box opens up. The unexpected, right? It's more like the wow factor. And for you, your Uranus is in the sign of career, so this could be a day where you could be surprised by anything. Could it be a promotion? Could it be that you're landing a new job? Could it be that you get a raise? Whatever the deal is, it's a good day where you're feeling very ingenious, ideas coming to you. So yeah, mark that on your calendar. On the 15th, Venus will now turn around and go direct. It's still now in the sign of Pisces. You're absorbing like a sponge all of these emotions and creativity, and it's going to slowly but surely start moving into or towards your 10th house for career, so you get to pick up there and have that second chance. And on the 17th, though, this is the romantic date of the month. Venus and Mars are doing the dance. Venus now moving forward. Mars is direct, so the two of them, they know what they want, and they will reach for what it is they're trying to achieve. And not only that is it romantic, it's a good money day as well, but above and beyond all of that, especially for you who are single or dating, you could come to meet somebody new, or it could be those of you finding yourself wanting to get engaged. And it is because the Sun, which is the essence of you, is really wanting to secure what it is you have, all of these good feelings in this relationship. So the 17th is a day to highlight. On the 19th, the Sun is moving out of your career house into the 11th house for hopes and dreams and social activity. Mars is already there. The Sun is now going to be joining that crowd. And I feel it's really you feeling so rejuvenated, and a time where you're really going to start not just dreaming, but actually reaching for those dreams, activating them, bringing them down into manifestation, not just up here visualizing, but actualizing them. We have on the 20th, the Sun and Mercury, they are conjunct, and it's happening right there on the cusp between your career house and hopes and dreams. So this could be interesting because the Sun is moving forward and Mercury's moving backwards. They're right there in that corridor. So it would be an exciting day for you to pay attention to what is taking place, especially because Mercury is retrograde, right? On the 20th also, we have Mercury now moving into your sign of Aries, which is that 10th house. So you're moving from having the energy of Taurus, which is will and want and need, back to Aries, which is saying, I'm going to do it. It's action, taking action on those things that you now have come to believe it is that you need in your life. 21st, Mars is moving into Gemini. Now for you, that's the 12th house here, Cancer. And having been in the sign of Taurus in the 11th, you've been a social butterfly. You've been spending a lot of quality time with your friends. Now you're feeling a little pooped, if I may say, because the 12th house is more like, I need rest. I need to pull back and recharge energy. But it's all good. It's just that you're needing to be a little bit more in your own skin or in your own head. It's time to meditate, do some yoga, peaceful activities, listen to beautiful music, some spiritual activities which feeds your soul. And Mars is now kind of slowing down after a near 2-year drive around your chart and powering out all that energy, dispersing it in all these various areas. And right now, it feels like completion. Been there, done that, now I just want to rest. That's how you're going to feel. So it's not going to last forever, so get the rest that you can. Do those things that can really enhance you spiritually, and you'll be good to go when Mars moves into your first house. On the 21st, there is a situation, and I feel that this is coming up here again between you and a coworker. For the most part, I feel that is where it can come out. Or somebody that you socialize with to a point where whatever was a little bit in disagreement earlier in the month, it might come up again because now Venus is moving forward, touching upon the same degree it had when it was in that difficult aspect, in the retrograde aspect on the 8th. But now it's more like meeting it head on and seeing, how do we now relate? Did we fix it? Does it feel as uncomfortable? Are we better now? So you're getting to have like a little test run on whatever that tweak was all about. Then we're coming towards the end of the month, and on the 24th, Cancer, we got Mercury, which is communication. We got Saturn, which is you, your sense of mastering your skills. Beautiful trine. So this is a day, if you're having any need for important communications, this is the day to have it. Mercury is still retrograde, so if you could avoid signing, well then that is best. If you have to sign, we got to remember, life goes on. The show must go on, right? Even in spite of Mercury's. But if there's a way, in spite of Mercury retrogrades, that is. But if there is a way to delay just for another couple of weeks, you're in a better place. But if you have to, well, it is a trine aspect. And Saturn